Shop tour! So followers of the channel know that I'm building a new shop, so I think it would only be fair that I show you my current shop. Some of you will hopefully get some tips, or if you're just interested, so come along. Also note that I did not clean up anything, so you will see it in its natural state. So this part of the shop that we're in right now is 28 by 26. Now I don't remember why I built it at that size specifically, but I started building this part of the shop in 2017 or 2018 when I was young and dumb. Now I am older and just as dumb. So let's start over here by these doors. So this is one of these cheap knockoff Chinese diesel heaters. And for the square footage of this part of the shop that is insulated, it works great. Really knocks the chill off. I wouldn't say it would make it while it's real cold out just super comfortable, but and if you get one of these, you can just buy one of these inverters to go to 12 volts because these heaters run off 12 volts, and I've had no issues out of running this system. But got the cheapy TIG welder over here. I am not a very good TIG welder, so this thing is probably a better machine than I am a welder. Got a few grinders on the rack there. Got an air compressor and fridge. This is an old retired fridge out of the house. This thing is old and it is a good fridge. It is better than the new fridge that we purchased. They just don't build them like they used to. Here's the air compressor I got. It is 175 PSI. 60 gallon. And it's okay. If you're painting something, it's kind of leaves you with some want. Got Josie Wells up there to watch over me. Yeah. So got the stick welder and the torch and the cheap plasma cutter. I did a video on this if you're interested in these. The Best Arc. Really good purchase. In here, got this all kind of sealed off. This is a reloading station. So me and my wife, before we had kids, we used to shoot quite a bit, and I would do all my own reloading. This is a Lee Loadmaster. It was a pretty good one. Auto powder feeder. Also did lead bullet molds. Can pour your own lead. But these days with the kids, you know, we don't do much shooting anymore, so that's kind of a hobby of the past. Occasionally I'll get out here and reload something, but not very often. Got all the powders back there, primers, whatnot. So this little cubby worked out pretty good. Now this part of my workbench, I only made 1.5 feet deep, and if you're building workbenches, that is not very deep. So if you're actually going to be there working a lot, you want probably 2 foot. So I regret making this so skinny. So got a bunch of cylinder rebuild kits for the backhoe. And in your shop, if you do the kind of projects I do, you really want to keep a lot of these tidbits around. So a lot of these things are just from Harbor Freight, but it's the kind of things that cost you a lot of time when you got to run to the store and get. Got some goodies, but mostly junk under here. If you've been following along with the diesel motorcycle project build, you'll know I'm using a 2-cylinder Yanmar for that engine, for that build. But I actually have a second one of these 2-cylinder Yanmar engines for another project, so I'm excited to use that on something at some point. Now here's the main workshop area. So got my toolbox, all my junk in there, and my poor workbench. Someone mentioned to me sometime about you should build your workbenches with a slope. That way you can't leave anything on them and it all rolls off. I think I would be someone that really benefits from that, but that's just the way it is. So on projects, I like whiteboards to kind of lay out where I'm at on the project. Hi, Brucey. I'm just making a video. All my nuts and bolts I keep in this old junky toolbox here. It's not too much good for keeping tools in anymore. Works great for this. This was actually my first box as a mower mechanic way back when I was 12 or 13, I think. So I have a little bit of nostalgia around it. Even though it's a piece of crap, I can't get rid of it. Oh, got all my tap and die sets and that sort of junk under there. Not very organized. Got this 14 horse Vanguard off of a mower I used to own. I think I rebuilt it at some point and just been saving it for a good go-kart project. Got a few tools under here. But yeah, so when you're building your workbench, hi Brucey.
Hi, Daddy.
When you're building your workbench, it's really nice if you're doing a lot of metal work to have a metal top. So that saves me from a lot of issues. Before, like the plywood under this, I had lots of burn marks, which is really a safety issue. But yeah, I got this steel for free out of the scrap bin, and that's been pretty nice. Got a few tidbits for ornamental reasons. One of Bruce's favorite things is to grab all the sockets out of the drawers and take them out and play with them. So up here, you can see I have lots of storage up there, but this spot right here is where I get up there mostly. This is all my scrap that I don't want to get rusty, that I feel is special. So I'm up here getting tidbits quite often. I have a little bit of a problem. If I see a good piece of scrap, I just can't seem to let it go. So, got a press, cherry picker, gun safe. Nothing special over here. But this here was a pretty cool project. This is a homemade crossbow, and it worked pretty good. You can kind of see the winding mechanism there. But I think me and a buddy were competing on building a homemade crossbow, and we had some parameters. Like I think the cost limit of what you could spend was like $30 or something like that. So I was under that, and for spending less than $30 making this thing, it's pretty cool. It's more ornamentation up there. And a quick update on the diesel bike. So I am just waiting to buy tires to pass inspection. But so far on test drives, this thing's been pretty flawless. So got big projects going right now, so I don't want to spare the extra $200 to buy tires, but sorry for the wait. So let's go over here to the first add-on of the shop. Now this add-on of the shop is 12 foot by 28 foot that way. I did this add-on a lean-to pole barn style, so post in the ground, whereas this part here I did a footer and slab. And I don't really have any complaints about it. All this concrete here I poured out of a mixer and bags. That kind of sucked. And I had some old tin from a horse shed that I tore down that was in this area, and put that on the inside of this, and that made it look pretty dang good, I think. Don't spend a lot of time here. I mostly just park crap here. But got the dune buggy there. Always park it in here. And a mower. And just various tidbits off the side here. A couple power screeds. Keep all my oil and stuff in here. Got a steel rack of new steel up there. It's a little bit sparse right now. I probably need to go restock it. And let's go over here to the latest add-on. Excuse me, buddy. So this was the latest add-on, and it measures out at 20 foot that way and 38 foot long. So I built this add-on pole barn style as well. And all these trusses overhead I built in the shop. That's just angle iron welded up. And those worked out really good. Now I did build all the trusses for my original shop out of wood. And I told myself when I built them that I'd never build trusses again because it kind of sucks. But here I was building these things and they sucked as well, but they worked out good. Had some old tin from another building I put on the inside here. So here's the tarp door. Now I have a video on how this thing operates. I originally made this roll-up tarp door with the thought that I'd eventually replace it with a real garage door. But I like this tarp door so much that I have no intention of ever replacing it. It works out great. Me and some buddies poured all this concrete, and for being rookies, we did all right. I am fairly happy with how it turned out. If you're experienced with pouring concrete after the building is up, you soon realize that it's really hard to finish out the edges, especially if you're inexperienced like us. But we did okay. Got me some weights over here that I should probably use more often. Another workbench. Under here, I got a manual 6-speed swap for the old 7.3 Power Stroke. Currently have an automatic that I rebuilt, but I went ahead and bought this 6-speed swap because I found a deal. And I might do that sometime if the automatic ever gives me more issues. Here in the corner, I got my old South Bend lathe. Now this is more of a hobbyist size lathe, but it is really good for learning. I'm no machinist, so I hadn't had much experience with that kind of thing before I bought this. But this has been a good lathe. If I remember the serial correctly, it's from the 40s. Man, they just don't build them like that anymore. But I might replace it at some point just because the bed isn't very long. And once you put the tailstock on here, you just don't have that much room to work if you're wanting to do something, if you're wanting to turn down something long. Got me some shop area in here. So this part of the shop I don't do a lot of projects in because I try and keep it open for the boys to play. Because especially on rainy days, it just sucks being stuck in the house. It's good that all us boys can come out here and give Mama a break as well. Here's a look from this view. So when you guys are thinking about building your shop, make sure you just go a little bit bigger than you think you'll need, because it is much easier to make the shop bigger initially than it is to add on. Because once you're trying to add on, you have a lot of headache. Like when I added on this portion here, I wanted the roof line to stay the same as the original shop, and it just makes it really difficult. What do you got there, dude? Got kind of an art project going on up there. Also, this rack here, great for hanging your workout equipment off of. Even got a little fur on it still. Well, that's all for the shop tour. I hope this gave someone some ideas for their own shop. Now the next shop build video should be out next week, part 2. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. All right, we're gonna get back to playing. We'll see you guys later.
Keep thinking.